So this is our fifth Zoom panel or fifth Zoom meeting for the ASTA North Florida Chapter. This is our third panel. We've done a couple different sections of the industries. So cruises was a big one. We've done a luxury hotel in at Montage Palmetto Bluff in South Carolina. We've also done kind of a mix of tour operators, wholesalers, and that was a nice big panel. I see more people joining, so welcome. I'm just kicking off with some announcements. I see Katie Rose and Lindsay here, who are your ASTA North Florida Chapter Board. We came up with this one today because cruising, as me and Scott were talking about in the beginning, has been a little gray, and as things have changed really since our last meeting, lots of more red states and resurgence and testing positive. So the US definitely has a magnifying glass on it that we're not allowed in certain places. So we keep these going just so we can know what to advise and how to advise our clients. A couple announcements for ASTA. As I mentioned in the last meeting, ASTA Global Convention has been announced as a virtual conference this year. You can go on asta.org and register. There are some discounts. I'm definitely going to be there. There were lots of great informative meetings and different information that I wasn't able to get at any other conference, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this will work out virtually as well. Some other things are our CEO, Zane Kirby, did ask that between July 15th and the end of ASTA Global that none of the chapters have any meetings. So I will have a chapter meeting of just us kind of chatting about how I've done so far this year, as all of our meetings have been via Zoom. But this will be our last panel. So I'm excited to be able to give the tourism boards a chance to meet you all and be there to support us. One other thing, there was a ASTA Travel Advisor Daily that goes out to all of you members. If you don't have it, go to asta.org and make sure that you sign up. Lots of great information. Right now, two things that I wanted to mention. There's a next round of COVID relief coming out. So if any of your agencies or as an independent contractor needing extension on unemployment benefits, tax credits, things of that nature, the CARES Act is still looking, they're still pushing to get changes made and extensions. It really is the big thing. So you can find out more of that on asta.org, and so that's what our ASTA members in Washington are doing. If you could just mute yourself for now, and that'd be great. Last thing that I saw that I thought was really interesting is that Congress is looking to extend a tax credit to travelers traveling in the US. Sorry to my Caribbean tourism boards, but it's a great reason to, hopefully it will pass, and it's a great reason to get people traveling sooner than later, but it would extend for the next 3 tax seasons. It's a $4,000 credit per person. I believe it was like $500 per child. It has not been passed, but it's something that the government's doing, and hopefully it will, and it will help us. So I wanted to mention that. Before I introduce our tourism board reps today, does anybody have anything that they want to just add for announcement wise in our chapter? Lindsay or Katie? Cool. One other thing, I do have the chat box. So last time I didn't set up the meeting, so I didn't see any of the messages, and I just want to apologize, but I can see everyone. I'm just going to type in here. If you have any questions, feel free to chat in the chat box, and I will ask our panel. All right, so without further ado, today I have 2 Oh, and Mel's here too. Hi, Mel. Two tourism boards with us today. So we have the Las Vegas Tourism Board and the Jamaica Tourism Board. If you'd like to introduce yourselves, Scott, maybe you could go first.
Good afternoon, everyone in Florida. My name is Scott Fujinaga with the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority. Happy to be here with you. Glad that if you're here, I assume you are doing well and healthy. So again, thank you for having me, and hope I can answer and any questions you may have or your travelers may have when coming to Las Vegas.
Thank you. And Christopher.
All right. Just want to say thank you all for, inviting me to be a part of this, unique update here. Normally it's a face-to-face. So gone are those days. Hopefully they will be back soon where we can actually meet face-to-face. I'm Christopher Wright with the Jamaica Tourism Board based right here in hot Miami, and willing, so happy that I'm here to actually bring you all up to date on what destination Jamaica has to offer. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. And Marlene, are you one of my reps?
Not yet. I just happened to see your notice and thought I would join in, but I am not in northern Florida. I'm like below Orlando, so does that matter? I mean, I can hang up if you need me to.
Well, you kind of look like you were in like St. Lucia or BVI, and I'm missing the two of them, and I had only their emails, so I wasn't sure. So I just wanted to make sure. So our two tourism board, thank you, Marlene, our two tourism boards today, Chris and Scott. So just to start off, this is great. So we have one in the Caribbean and one in Las Vegas, and U.S. citizens are welcome in both destinations. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yes. Let's start with Scott. How are things looking in Vegas, as you are one of the red states as ours is?
Yes, Las Vegas is doing great. I mean, we did just implement, so the latest is that masks are now required for all visitors and residents in public spaces. And when we did open our doors on June 4th, we did have all employees wearing masks, and it wasn't mandatory for visitors or guests of businesses. However, now that is. So just something to keep in mind when travelers are coming this way. But so far, occupancy has been great. More hotels are opening up, also more restaurants, more attractions as days go on. So it's all been very positive in that way. But we do want to do our part to help control the spread and keep everyone safe as best we can here in Las Vegas.
For sure. Christopher, has Jamaica been seeing quite a lot of U.S. tourists, and how are they doing with that so far?
Yes, we have. I would love to take another PowerPoint presentation, but I guess we'll just do a face-to-face discussion here. Well, first of all, we opened up June 1st to the 14th for returning Jamaican nationals. And of course, on June 15th, we opened up for international visitors. Everyone coming into Jamaica who went on to the website to get their authorization to enter the island has to do a COVID test, and that is picked up by the government. This information on, it takes about 5 minutes to fill out the form. It's on our www.visitjamaica.com site. Gives a bunch of questions, health questions, and then you get authorization to actually now approach the ticket counter, and you present that, and then you're allowed to board the flight. As everyone knows, masks are required in all the public areas. The Resilient Corridor has opened up, which is from, if you all know Jamaica, it's from Negril all the way to beautiful Port Antonio. And you have to state exactly what hotel you're staying at. When you get into the island, there's a lot of safety protocols that you go through. Immediately your hands sanitized. You then approach the customs area with your authorization for landing. Of course, your documentation is checked. Your luggage is taken to a holding area that is in Montego Bay. And then, of course, your COVID test is done. And as I said, that is picked up by the government. You're now on your cell phone. You now load an app. It is the JAM COVID-19. Your results are now sent to you. And of course, irregular updates are made on that site, on that link. What it does is it's a unique site where it brings up the map of the island, or 14 parishes. It's a daily update. It tells you how many people in each parish are infected, how many people have recovered, and unfortunately, how many people have passed. So far, we only have had 10 that has passed, but it's a constant update. So in that corridor, for instance, you're staying in Montego Bay and at one of the lovely resorts there, and you decide to head over to Ocho Rios. Your phone will now go off and they will say, where are you going? Because you are now supposed to be at your resort, having a wonderful rum and coke by the pool. So it's something where they actually track you. And why are we doing this? We have to be safe. Unfortunately, this COVID is getting out of hand here in North America. So that, as I said, a lot of safety protocols have been put in place. So that, I must also say, I don't know if I mentioned it, last week, since we opened on the 15th, we have received so far just over 3,000 visitors. So, we're slowly opening, making sure all the hotels have the protocol that have been put in place. The staff and management wear their mask, their hand sanitized stations throughout each of the resorts. And that's something we have a list of, which hotels are compliant. Those who are not, it says non-compliant. And we have we have people that go around and make sure that these resorts are up to date on the safety protocols that have been set by the government of Jamaica and of course by the World Health Organization. So any more questions as we move along?
Sure. One thing you said, actually you said a couple times, that the government is giving the tests. So does that mean that you're getting them upon arrival, or you can get them in your home state in the US and have the form filled out with proof?
Yeah, you can get it here in the US, but when you arrive up until this time, everyone is tested on arrival.
On arrival, okay.
12 and under, no, they're not tested unless you have a kid with runny nose and sneezing. But everyone 12 and 13 and over is tested for the COVID. And you get the results within 24 to 48 hours.
Got it. And then you just go right to your, okay.
Yes, right.
And then are they requiring, like Las Vegas is requiring masks now? Are the resorts requiring masks as well, or is that a resort by resort?
No. Every single resort for the guests as well as the workers have to have a mask in the public areas. Okay. For instance, you leave your room, you're heading down to a dinner. You have your mask. When you arrive at the restaurant, your hands are sanitized. Everyone has a mask. You're seated, and then when you're at your seat, you can now remove your mask, of course, to enjoy. By the pool area and the beach, all those lounge chairs, of course, the safety protocol, they have been, 6 feet or even more spaced out. And you are not required, of course, you cannot wear your mask in the pool or in the ocean.
Right. Okay.
So, but yes, please, if you have anyone going down, let them know that please take your mask. It is a safety protocol that has been put in place, not only to protect the Jamaican nationals, but everyone there that is on island and at the resorts.
Got it.
Oh, yes.
So Scott, some of what Jamaica is doing have you heard, is Las Vegas gonna have a test on arrival? Is that something that, how does arriving in a Vegas look like now?
Yeah, right. That would be a little more unique. Jamaica has a special circumstance as they have, guests have to fly in to the destination, so it's a little more fenced, whereas people can drive in from Utah, Arizona, or California, from our bordering states. So yeah, a little different look there. So no, I don't anticipate requiring a test in advance. However, you know, things have been rapidly changing, so we'll see what that comes out to.
Are you seeing mostly people driving in, or are there not as many people like from Florida flying over to Vegas to get there?
Actually, we're seeing a very nice mix. So we have our drive-in traffic as we expected. However, flights have certainly, I'm on weekly calls, and the flights have ramped up, and more capacity, more planes, more announcements have been coming. So we certainly have ramped up the amount of passengers coming into the destination, both on air and drive traffic. So very, very positive. People, a lot of pent-up demand for people wanting to get out and travel. So great opportunities for travel advisors to try to sell them on those experiences, if you can.
Yes, I was reading an article this morning that said travel advisors need to lead the way in traveling. So if you have any hotels that are offering really great deals, maybe we could all go as a chapter to Vegas next week and get out of here. Are you having any conventions, anything planned in that way? And what does just as a regular single traveler or a couple look like checking into a hotel now?
Certainly. So I'll start with the conventions. So we don't have any large scale conventions currently in town. I don't believe we'll see any really till September at the earliest. More likely though, the very large ones that we're used to, SEMA in November or something. And then CES is still planning to be strong in the beginning of January. We have a lot of smaller 50-person gatherings. We've had a couple of meetings happen in the destination, in the hotels. And then mini monies and micro weddings are kind of what we're seeing. A lot of people still trying to get married in the #1 wedding capital of the world. So that's promising. But yes, things look different. You know, a lot smaller gatherings are available. When guests do arrive into Las Vegas and check in, they'll notice some things when they walk in, whether it's free parking, you check in at the desk, they might hand you a sanitation kit, which includes a mask or a hand sanitizer, something of that nature. You'll see thermal scans when you walk in as well to most of the Las Vegas Strip casinos, and some of the off-strip ones as well. Each one has different protocols, and we have a whole listing online of what those protocols are on our Vegas Smart page via visit lasvegas.com. And you'll see hand sanitizing stations throughout the public corridors, as well as some hand washing stations in some casinos. You see partitions between games, chairs removed at slot machines and things. So there are many different things that shape the look, and you'll see, you know, people cleaning. Once you arrive at the airport, you'll see all the signage reminding you to keep your distance, be Vegas smart, wear your mask. On Friday, we had showgirls out there handing out masks, which was a fun little, PR stunt.
On them, maybe?
They did. They had blinged out lips on their showgirl costumes that they were wearing. So yeah, it still is Vegas, just a little modified with our own twist on it. So again, keeping Vegas smart is our moniker right now.
Very good. So I have a question from Maryland, which is actually something I was going to ask as well. So we don't know how to check into the hotel. What can we do, and can we see any shows in Vegas? Is that starting, and what does that look like?
Yeah, unfortunately, that's probably the #1 thing that we don't have right now. So your typical Vegas experience, you know, restaurants, bars, pools, spa treatments are available as well. However, and shopping, but shows have not resumed yet. We don't know when they will. We were planning on the beginning of July. Now that's been pushed back. We don't know when, with the spike in cases, we don't know when they'll feel comfortable having larger gatherings take place. You'll keep up to date if you sign up for our trackmylasvegasbookings.com website. You'll get all the latest updates in real time. So as soon as we have developments, we'll share that out.
Right, and I will share that as well as the Jamaica site for everyone with the recording of this. They're both, I mean, tourism boards have always been one of my #1 places to go to get, you know, reliable information about the destination I'm sending people to. So we appreciate you guys keeping us updated. Back over to Christopher. So we have some questions about this COVID test when we get to Jamaica.
Okay.
Is there like a quarantine room that you have to be in after you get the test at the airport, or how does that work? And what happens if you test positive?
Okay, so there are two. That means there are two questions in one.
2 questions in one.
There you go. All right. So, no, for instance, a lot of you, I guess the majority of your clients will be flying into Montego Bay. So after you get your luggage and put in a holding area, just before you get on the bus, of course, that's when the test is actually done. So those of you who are familiar with the Montego Bay Airport, all where departure transportation lounges are, just before you go outside to the buses, there's a tent with medical teams out there that are doing the test. Then you head over to your, of course, safe social distancing is recognized on all ground transportation. So you will not be sitting next to each other across from anyone. So the capacity of the buses have been reduced to facilitate the safety protocol. Arrive at the hotel, once again, your hands are sanitized, and then you go and check in. So some of the bags are also sanitized as well. So you now check in to your room. Yes, you can still use the hotel amenities, the restaurants, the bars, until you get, of course, don't forget, in public areas, your face mask is required. And then, of course, you get that all clear. However, heavens forbid that it comes back positive, you will now have to go under a 14-day quarantine. It's either some hotels have rooms that have been, a block of rooms that have been set aside for quarantining. However, if it's a more of an extreme situation, then you are moved to a government facility, a hospital. If you go to a private hospital, which we do have, of course, the cost will have to be picked up by an individual who is actually sick.
Right.
And just before I move on, please remember, for those of you who are not a Jamaica travel specialist, the www.oneloverewards.com, it is we send out a lot of updates to our Jamaica travel specialists. And we also, we have the webinars that brings you up to date on what is taking place with the resorts, the attractions, and it's just a great feature. And of course, we're trying to get small groups down in September on some FAMs. So make sure that you are a Jamaica travel specialist. We want to show you what is happening because the destination has a lot of new hotels that are coming along. Those who have been closed, some of them have been doing some major taking advantage of the closure and refurbishing. So go on to our visitjamaica.com site. You can see the link to the Jamaica Travel Specialist. And it's a wonderful program where we reward the travel agents for selling the destination, registering those bookings. And as I said, it's just a great feature. And of course, the wonderful information and updates that you'll be getting on a regular basis.
Sure. We did get someone chime in a little bit about that quarantine. So if you do test positive, is there a way that you could go back home?
No, the only way you're going to go back home, thank you for saying that. Let any of your clients make sure they get insurance. The only way you're going to be moved back is on a private medical aircraft, because no airline will be taking anyone that has been tested.
That makes sense, sure.
So be very aware of that situation.
Definitely. And another thing for all of you advisors, I had seen in some forums for those who are traveling, clients who are traveling now, some advisors are having them sign a waiver or at least email them with some written confirmation, knowing that you have explained the risks and possibilities of what would happen before they travel, just to cover yourself and also keep everyone as informed. While we all want to travel, you know, taking the right precautions to keep us all safe is the most important thing. And we don't want any clients being put in a situation where they felt like they didn't know about the restrictions in different countries, especially. So how does that work, Christopher? So if my client calls me, I'm just like playing devil's advocate. My client calls me and says they tested positive. Do I, are they going to have to pay for another week's, like I have someone staying for a week, are they going to have to pay for another week's stay at that resort, or how does that work?
Yes, they will have to pick up their cost at the resort unless they're moved to a government.
Unless they're moved to a hospital. Okay, so so great questions, really good stuff to make sure your clients know before they go. I've been suggesting getting tested prior to your departure, like some states are requiring, and then of course Jamaica's going to test you when you get there as well. So at least before you get on the plane, you got a better chance that you know that you're a negative before you get there and have a surprise or something. So that's my trick of the trade right now. So we're gonna go back to Las Vegas. So we know that there are some things going on with the NFL there, right? So what do you see happening when football season starts?
Oh gosh, very exciting 2020. We had the NFL draft that was supposed to be here that was then made virtual. Our stadium is coming online. Well, we have a 65,000 seat new Allegiant Stadium that's being built. It's been in completion phases, should be on target for July 31st in time for the season. However, I don't know when we were gonna be able to pack that with 65,000 people. Garth Brooks was actually supposed to be the first entertainer to open it. And yeah, we'll see what the guidelines and regulations are. Unfortunately, I have a feeling we won't be seeing live sporting events when August comes around.
Right. I know that's a debate going on between, well, the NFL, obviously, and then each individual city. So just my thought was, if Vegas is open, then why couldn't we have football games there? But yeah, I don't see the stadium being packed out if any fans are allowed in at all.
Yeah, let's hope that maybe we can have a live game there with, you know, a third or half the capacity, however that works out. We're lucky we do have a domed enclosed stadium. However, it can be opened up, so it can be open air, which helps as well.
Sure. Yeah,
we'll
that's
see.
cool. I'm going to have one more question from me to Christopher, and then let you both take some time just to speak about anything that you want to. And during that, if any of our members have any questions, again, just pop that into the chat box for me. Christopher, I know that, again, last week we had a lot of gray areas with our cruises. What do you see happening since things for the resorts and airports have been, seems like you guys have a great plan, and you're, you know, utilizing that plan, and what does this look like for cruise ports now?
Okay. Well, when it comes to the cruise lines, now that's a very powerful question that you just asked, because, you know, I must say, I think the cruise lines are in limbo at this time.
Right.
They're really, really working hard to try to straighten out their situation with the safety protocols, because, you know, each port that they visit, it's no way anyone is going to be able to test when they get off to get any results. So safety protocol, I guess, has to be done maybe before they board or while they are on board, to have some sort of a proof that they are COVID-free. But at this time, we have not yet received any updates or information from the variety of cruise lines looking at returning to Jamaica.
Solid answer. It is. It's what it is. So Chris, I know you mentioned something about a PowerPoint or like a video presentation, and that's not kind of the style that I have going for this Zoom meeting. But what do you want to tell us about anything, or maybe run a video that you'd like to share with our members?
Well, let's see. Let me just do a few minutes. Do I have a couple minutes?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll slide back over to Scott then.
Yeah, let me just try to.
Yeah, I know you said that 10 minutes wasn't going to be enough. So
no, there really is so much. But yeah, we're very fortunate here that, like I said, many things are open. So if you're wondering about the experience with masks and things, so restaurants, the majority of them are open. What I highly recommend doing is going online to each of the hotel's websites. And we have a link for that as well. I could share that link via the screen as well, but Track My Las Vegas Bookings does have that available. So, but basically we have an open document that shows all the safety, or has links out to all the safety protocols, all the open amenities, restaurants, things, you know, in the hotel that are open at this time. Transportation, whether it's vehicles or you know, at the airport and such, we have that available for you. So give me one moment while I try to get my screen shared with you.
Okay. Let me know if I need to do anything.
Oh yeah, you may need to hand something over to me. Possibly.
Yeah. Okay.
But so like I said, restaurants, when you walk in, I know you're required to wear a mask. So you walk in, when you're not seated at your table, that's when you're asked to wear a mask in the restaurant experience. Poolside, you'll wear your mask all the way out till you get to the pool, where there's 6 feet of separation regarding. One moment.
Did that work? Sorry.
Yes, it looks, I believe it is. So.
Okay, cool.
One moment. Okay. So you should be seeing this document and QR code on your screen. So you can actually take your phone and scan that right now if you'd like. As weird as that may seem, but it will open up on your computer. So, and this updates basically daily. So the last update, I know it says June 13th on the screen, but that actually was updated on Friday, so the 26th. But as the hotels open up, we are loading them on here with all their safety video information and open amenities, as I mentioned earlier. So things like entertainment here in town, you asked about that. So we do have some nightclubs that have converted into lounges by reservation only. So it's not as packed and there's no celebrity DJ there. However, it is, they do have a place for nightlife, like Intrigue at the Wynn, which is an open air indoor-outdoor facility next to a pond, lake, if you will. Encore Beach Club as well, open at night and during the day, as well as Marquee just opened up. So again, and all the pools have been open at the hotels, but if you're looking for more of a lively vibe, those are available as options. Also, the only place you're going to find entertainment right now is at Bellagio at Mayfair Supper Club. So it's a dining experience that has entertainment incorporated into it. Fairly new, opened at the end of this end of 2019 at Bellagio, and overlooks the fountains. Normally, when you sit down, you'd have many different acts that come in through the night, but they actually have a piano player and a crooner that are currently now, just to limit the amount of people on stage or entertaining at one given time. And then even buffets buffets hopefully will open. The Wynn actually opened their buffet, and it's kind of very similar to that of a cruise ship. So it's a dining experience that's all you can eat. You walk in, they have you sanitize your hands, they walk you past the dessert station, you sit down, you're given a coaster for your mask. I've seen other restaurants give you a little bag for your mask so you can place it on your table safely and conveniently.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, really cool. So again, things are really different, but we're doing
you gotta get creative.
Give you the experience. And then you order off a menu. The menu is single touch, and then you order it. Honestly, it's the best buffet experience you're going to get because you're getting great quality food. It's not sitting on the line. They're portioned out right. The presentation is great because they're able to do that now. When they bring it right to your table, you don't have to get up and wait in line or fight with anyone.
Pick it on the iPad, and then they bring you a plate with all the things you picked. Is that what?
The server holds an iPad and is ordering everything, and then the other servers are bringing it to you, and it comes within seconds sometimes, but yeah,
Cool.
definitely within minutes. So,
Best sounding buffet that I've heard about.
Yeah, no, so again, a modified experience, but yet we're trying to bring it all to you.
Very cool. Awesome. That's all great stuff.
Oh, so here's again a look at this. I'm not sure if Christopher is ready with his, but here are some of the things that are open as well. So, and then you'll see some fun signage around Las Vegas.
Okay, phase 2 opening stuff. Got it. Great. Okay, Christopher, do you have a video or something?
No, I was trying to find that as we go through, but unfortunately, no. My sincere apologies.
Oh, no. I kind of caught you off guard. Please take your time. I'm just reading if there's any questions. Thank you very much for keeping us up to date. Newsletters, support. Appreciate it. Thanks everybody for joining. Okay, nothing. Oh, what capacities? Yeah, and this goes out for both Scott and Christopher. At what capacities are your hotels at this point?
I can start if you'd like, Christopher.
Yes, go ahead.
I'm going to stop my share now. But so the hotels, what we saw was they originally announced, like, let's say MGM Resorts that operates 13 casinos here in Las Vegas, they were only going to open 2. They then opened 4, and then they've been slowly opening more and more. We'll see the majority of them, actually all 12 of 13 will open by July 16th. On July 1st, on Wednesday, is that Wednesday or Thursday? We have Aria, Mandalay Bay, Aria and Mandalay Bay joining the opening hotels as well. So what they're doing is they're trying to keep occupancies lower, so that minimizes the stress on the capacity on elevators and such when people are going up and down, the amount of amenities that are being used, the pool, the restaurants and things. So they're doing their part to help limit that as best they can. As you know, we have some of the world's largest hotels, 7,000 rooms at the Venetian Resort, including all 3 towers. So they have a lot of capacity. So things are kind of socially distanced inherently, but they're opening more casinos and hotels so that, it helps them keep a lower occupancy.
Makes sense. Could you give me back that host permission so I can switch again?
Oh, yes. I'm sorry.
I don't know if I can. I don't think I can take it away from you.
Let's see how I do this.
Christopher, how about, we know that you said that about 3,000 visitors from the U.S. have come to Jamaica in the past 2 weeks here. Are they limiting the resort's capacities?
Yes, we see, well, first of all, not all the resorts are open at this time. The majority will be opening up, in the first week of July. So, it continues to grow. So just over 3,000 as of June 15th.
15, right.
Yes. So as they open, the capacity grows.
All right. I am going to give you permission to share your screen if you have a presentation or a video or anything you'd like to share with us.
No.
No, didn't work?
Let's see.
On the bottom, it's got that share screen. Yeah, there you go.
Try this.
This may be I should not say it yet, but I was going to say this may be my least technical issues.
No, it's not, that's right. No, it's not working. That's
not working. Okay.
PowerPoint presentation. All right.
No worries. We can, we're going to share with our members this video as well as your websites and some of the great information. I mean, really, that form in Jamaica is where you get that form, is on visitjamaica.com. So that's really important. Anything else you'd like to add, Christopher, that maybe I didn't review that you'd like to let our members and advisors know?
No, no, I don't think anything else. I think we went over just about,
Good.
all that was needed to get out there, that information. So, so thank you for the opportunity. We have to, as I said, maintain safety, both on the island as well as here in the US. But we are open. Our first phase is open, as I said, on the north side of the island, and of course the second phase, starting next week, which is the south coast of Jamaica, will reopen for our visitors.
Perfect.
But our website has a wealth of information. Our visitjamaica.com site that has a wealth of information for everyone.
Lots of great info from both of our tourism boards, and I don't have anyone going to Vegas yet, but I do have someone going to Jamaica at the end of July here, so I'm looking forward to booking more trips for our U.S. citizens. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Christopher, for joining us today. We really appreciate it. I can't wait to have something in person someday, but this is live.
Can I add one more thing? Sorry.
Of course.
Okay. So if you do have any travelers that are looking to travel at this time, Vegas is a great option. If they don't like crowds, this is the perfect time to come and experience the destination and not be packed in. I mean, when else can you go to the Bellagio fountains and have your own bay to watch it at? Sunday through Thursday is probably the best time to get the best deals and have a great experience, less crowding throughout. So just keep that in mind. And Jessica, I'd be happy to send you the link so that you can send out like that reopening document and such, any necessary.
That would be great. Yeah. Wealth of information, constantly changing information too. So we always, these meetings, literally something new has happened every time I've had a Zoom call with our chapter. So that is our lives right now. And we really appreciate you guys keeping us up to date. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you to all our members. I'll let y'all know when I can schedule something, but it will be after the 4th of July, before July 15th. Then ASTA Global happens in August. We will not be having any meetings until September after that. So we'll see you once more in July, but everybody have a safe and happy 4th of July. And
Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Jessica.